Rugby League is back.
Drum roll, please.
You're a true Warriors fan.
I have no recollection of that hot take.
We don't all have to agree.
It's good to be back.
They're just a really boring team.
Oh, no.
Start winning some games.
I think there'll be a lot of changes to the team.
I've got them making the 8 for mine.
Let's go. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Advantage Line, TAB's Rugby League betting podcast. My name is Karl and Teddy. That is Paul Mawate. Paul, how was your week on the punt?
Well, I think we're going to get to that a wee bit later on. It was up and down, I guess you could say, as it usually is. Well, most weeks it's more down than up, but wasn't the worst this last week. So, yeah, that's one bright spot.
And you're still having fun.
I'm having fun. I just wish I could have fun with the Wars in the playoffs.
You don't need to do a drive.
Well, I
start
just,
the show.
I know there's 3 of us here today, and one of us is very happy, and the other 2 not so.
Wouldn't say I'm very happy, Paul. I'm more completely ambivalent.
And there he is, folks. That's Nick Tedeschi. Welcome in.
The Warriors have been so little on my radar this year that if I didn't do this podcast, I dare say I wouldn't have thought too much about them.
Wow. You better, if you want to come back next year, change your tune there, kid.
So nothing against the Warriors. I hold no ill will towards the Warriors, but it's I haven't really done a lot this year. And it's just been every time they kind of take a step forward, they take 2 steps back. So you guys know it more than me. Obviously, the passion is there for you guys. But, as a team this year, they haven't really been threatening the 8 for, since probably April.
There have been some heartbreaking losses there.
Yeah, they have been. And, don't get me wrong, they've been, not an unenjoyable team to watch, but they're just not on the radar for a top side. Like, they're kind of in that Newcastle, Canberra mid-range band of just like, you've got some good games in you, but you just, I hope over the last month, and we talked about SJ last week, I do hope over the last month that they can find something for him.
It's funny you mention SJ. I won't say where or who or how, but received some feedback from the show last week. Some person going in on us for being Sean Johnson lovers, and we need to get over ourselves, and Sean's done. So just shout out to that bloke. Tough day, maybe.
Tough marker.
Is that from Stacey?
Stacey.
Mr. S. Jones of Auckland.
JC Stones.
I believe it might have been from a Mr. T.M. Martin from Auckland.
Oh, don't talk to me about that try scoring bingo Sunday, 1-7.
We weren't, but carry on.
Oh, well, the only jersey that missed out was number 7, and guess who scored a try in the 7 position with the number 23 on his back? Oh, jeez. You're killing me.
There needs to be a
substitute rule.
Yeah, or some sort of if that happens, then maybe you lose 50 cents on the price or something.
Yes.
I think it should be a bit like a quaddy. Like if your favourite's out, you get the option of either cancelling the bet or you get the replacement.
The replacement.
Or it's the position, it's not the number.
I don't mind if it's if a 1-17 reshuffles in there and number 12 is playing halfback, well then bad luck. But if jerseys 18 through 20 whatever come in, I think that's a pretty fair. It's a very specialised position.
What if 18 comes in at fullback after a foul play?
No. Well, this is why they don't have the rule. This is why you just can't.
We've just proven why it can't be done.
Well, it can be done, but it'd be niggly. Anyway, sticking with betting, it doesn't have to be related to NRL, but I guess it
better not be because I didn't have a winner there.
Okay, I just want to go back and have a look at your best winner you had last week. Doesn't have to necessarily be the biggest winner or anything like that. Just sort of the best winner, if you had one last week punting. Paul, I'll start with you.
Yep. I did have a winner last week. It was Lydia Coe to win gold in Paris at $26.
Very nice. Comfy for a long time. Then it got a little bit shaky.
A little bit shaky
and
towards the end, but
very comfy.
as she said, it was I guess about not making big mistakes, and she made a bit of a mistake on the 13th. But other players around her were also making mistakes. So now she's got the set. She's in the Hall of Fame. She's 27. She said she was going to retire by the time she got to 30. So there's not a lot more left for her to do, to be fair.
No.
Thank you very much, Lydia.
Shout out, lads.
Here we go.
Teddy?
What was the Olympics last week, Carl? So I had lots of winners and lots of losers, and I'm kind of going through, I guess, what some would call detox right now without the Olympics, also getting some sleep. But best win last week, maybe Portugal to win the women's Madison. Or maybe the men's Madison, I forget what it was. I think it was the women's Madison at $26, the win, $7.25 the place. But my highlight last week, though, from a gambling point of view, was 6 straight winning bets on the weightlifting. So hang on, Com Games 2026. I'll come to this guy for weightlifting tips because I am on fire.
What's your personal best in the clean and jerk, Ted?
I had a great joke lined up there, Carl.
And we move on. Yeah. This is Democracy Manifest.
I don't even consider that when I said it, but anyway, I apologize, punters. I apologize.
You can't keep laying these. I'm really expecting you not to hit them. I take no responsibility for what comes out next. I'll pass it.
I had a good win on the MLB baseball during the week. You'd be happy, Ted. It was midweek.
What a shock, because I know there was a great deal of feedback I received last week about how embarrassing it was that 2/3 of the show, their last bet on a podcast recorded on a Wednesday, was on a Saturday, and that's I noticed that the segment's been changed this week to hopefully save from some embarrassment.
Look, we're back, okay? We're back. Normal transmission has resumed.
Good.
It was a midweek baseball bet, and I did a deep dive into some stats, and I picked out some real weird stats, and I thought I'm going to follow these, and I multi them up, and I had a 3-leg multi. I had the Angels to cover the line. This is against the Yankees. The Angels to cover the line in the first innings, and the Angels to be ahead after 3 innings. And they went on to win 9-5 or something, and ticked off all the legs and got home. Very happy.
Fill up. Well played.
3 legs, paying about $8.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There you go. Get in.
Nice.
Get in.
All right. What about our punting on this show last week, Paul?
Okay. Not as good.
No. Shout out to the Melbourne Storm.
Where are we going to start? We'll start with Blake. Blake had 2 multis. The first multi, Panthers -8.5. Well, we're gone already. He also had the Storm minus and the Dogs head-to-head. And then in the other multi, it's a same game multi, DWZ to be an anytime try scorer, and the Wars to win 1-12. So no good for Blake there. Nothing from Surly last week, I believe.
He's missing in action.
We also had Karl, just 1 bet, defending the lead. He had Anderson to score a try. Nice. And to Storm 13 and over.
Sick.
Dear, oh dear.
What about taking the penalty at the end?
Oh. Teddy, also 1 bet, but opening up the shoulders, to be fair. Storm -14.5. Well, we'll stop right there. He had the Panthers minus and the Knights minus as well. And then I had 2 bets. Cleary to score a try, DCE to score a try, SJ to score a try. No good. And then 1-7 try bingo on Sunday. And unfortunately, Tamari Martin was not wearing the 7 jersey, so that one went down.
Just looking at, too, we haven't done this for a few weeks, but looking at this Super Brew tipping comp.
Yo.
In Tedeschi holding his form, sitting inside the top 10 overall.
Yeah, I'm actually in pretty good nick. Carl, but I just seem to be giving out the wrong best bets next week, which is unfortunate. So, as we are a betting show and not a tipping show, that's a bit of an issue.
So
maybe
sorry,
just
punters.
back your tips into a bet, maybe. A little bit of advice.
I did do that on the weekend actually. So,
well done.
No, it wasn't well done. One team let me down. Cowboys. Grubs.
I've dropped down to 66th, and I saw Blake's still on the 30. He's 31st.
I will also note, Carl, that I am ninth, having been given a 2-game handicap from our.
I remember.
Of which would have been 2 more winners, I'm sure. So, if you want to adjust those scores, Paul, that'd be great. We didn't get the invite till halfway through round 1.
That would take you to, let's say you just got the winning tick and not the match point. That would take you to 5th outright.
Doesn't matter if I come first, because apparently I am not getting a prize.
That is different. That is most.
We should just hope that Paul's organised a prize for the winner, the person that does win.
I think Paul's cheering me on, so we won't have to give out a prize. That's fine.
I'll have a look in the prize cupboard. I think there's some pineapple lollies in there.
The prize cupboard? We're not a radio show.
What? I can see the cupboard from there. It's right over there.
Guess the sound.
Actually, we are a radio show. We're on SENZ, so. But we don't have a prize cupboard. All right.
But we have prizes.
We do.
I'll find something. Don't worry, guys.
Divided opinion. Quick one. May or may not get a division. They normally don't. There are only 3 teams who can win the competition this year. Teddy.
Who are they?
Well, I'm saying.
I would say that you could not have picked a worse number than 3. I would say 3 is the way, and so there's not. I would say there's either one team that can win the competition, or there's 5 teams that can win the competition. I mean, Penrith stand out clearly above everyone else. So if you want to kind of who is a realistic chance, Penrith, it's one and done. But I think you can, if you want to extend it out to who can win the competition, kind of, I don't think there's anything between the Roosters and Storm, who you've obviously got as teams 2 and 3 there. I think the Bulldogs are going just as well, if not better, than the Storm and the Roosters. And I think you could throw Cronulla into that, more based on their upside, which we kind of saw last week, as opposed to how they've been playing consistently, because they've probably got more downside than the rest. But I would say Penrith on a level by themselves, but then there's, I think, 4 teams pretty clustered together there. Now, particularly Canterbury, I'm obviously a bit of a homer on that front, but second best defence in the comp, usually a great indicator. Storm have lost to the Dragons, and we'll get on to that game against the Rabbitohs soon, but were downright horrific in the way, not only the way they played, but in their attitude to, playing nothing but lair football. I think would disappoint Craig Bellamy no end. And the Chooks have conceded 30 and 34 in the last 2 games. So I don't think there's much between teams 2 to 5.
There's 2 points there that I agree totally with Teddy. Panthers are by far and away the best team in the league. Surprise, surprise. And are looking very, very good to go 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. After that, I also agree. I think the Dogs are the next best in the comp. And once again, it's based off that defense, and they're also starting to click on offense as well, getting all their pieces together, their combinations. I think they're just slowly coming together on the offensive side. But I don't think they're going to need to score too many points to win games because they're so good defensively. I don't like the Roosters. I agree with Teddy. I think the Storm, or the only good thing about the Storm is Bellamy can turn this around. He can get that attitude adjusted and get them back on the track again. So I like the Storm as well, but I don't like the Roosters and I don't like the Sharks. So my top 3 would be the Panthers, Bulldogs, and Storm. But the Panthers are a clear favourite. And after that, I've got the Dogs and then the Storm.
Yeah. As I said, not much division. Dogs are the one that stood out for me. I think they're the ones outside those other top 3 that have a very real chance, and the way they've been playing is out of this world. It wasn't that long ago where giving it to Serraldo, saying he's no good, and Warriors got the right man instead of from the Panthers. So he's obviously turned that around. The Dogs are flying up into 5th. The Storm, I think the one thing that stands out with the Storm for me is they just had obviously Bellamy, one of the greatest coaches to do it, but also their halves, their spine in general. Like, they haven't all been firing together, and if they do, particularly Hughes and Munster, like 2 of the best going around. So I think they're a big X factor if they can get going.
The issue for me is not Hughes and Munster. It's what happened to Pappenhausen and Harry Grant. And Pappenhausen, he's got excuses. He's been out a long time. But throwing no-look passes, rubber kicking on the second, just ridiculous mental errors they shouldn't be making. And what has happened to Harry Grant? No player summed up where they're at to me more than when they had a huge overlap on the right, and he has stepped out of dummy half on the left, to the left, and then thrown it back across the right in a forward pass. It's like absolute stupidity. Harry Grant's better than that. And I know Bellyache doesn't mind losing a game this time of year, but he would have been absolutely furious at some of the decision making in that game.
Yeah. We've said it before on this show, like, this is not the Storm of old, of previous years gone past, but I'm looking at the ladder, and they've only lost 4 games. I feel like they've lost a lot more than that this season. But
I think if you go through it, they've won a lot of close games, and that's usually a pretty good indicator that the team is well and truly over index. I think that's what's probably going to count against Canterbury next year. It's certainly counting against the Warriors this year. That luck kind of tends to regress, and you kind of want to get it all in one year, right? So you can make a good run, and the Storm are going to be able to make a good run. But if I'm Canterbury, I'll be cheering on the Storm to win the minor premiership and hoping you slip into 4th, because that's a great position to be in, because you could be hosting a preliminary final in Sydney. Whoever gets them in the first week will be confident they can host a preliminary final.
That's probably one of the greatest segues to changing topic we've ever had, Teddy. So I thank you, because the next piece here in the run sheet that I know none of you read is around close calls. And I've gone back and had a look at all the games this year that have finished 4 points or less in margin. And I did this as a Warriors fan to try and help justify what's happened this year. And as you say, Storm been involved in a few games. They've been involved in 6 games that have finished 4 or less, and they've won 4 of those. Can you tell me, off the top of your head, who has been involved in the most games decided by a margin of 4 or less?
Canterbury, Dolphins.
Dogs.
Teddy's bang on. It's Canterbury. They've been involved in 9 of them. 5 at home, 4 away. They're 5 from 5 at home, and 0-4 away.
I was barely 1 away game this year, but those stats are really misconstrued. Based on Canterbury play a lot of home games away and play a lot of away games at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll take your point's taken. I think the Dolphins have been involved in a lot of close games.
Dolphins,
Warriors,
7. They are 3-4. Warriors have the worst record. They have been involved in 8. They're 2-1-5.
Well, that bodes very well for the Warriors next year, because how I kind of use these stats, particularly in season win totals, and which is why I was so heavily against the Broncos heading into this year, was luck tends to regress over a period of time. And one-score games, I use number 6 rather than 4, but one-score games decided by the bounce of a ball, refereeing decision, that stuff over a period of time does even out. Now, teams like the Storm have probably tended to defy that over a long time, but most teams in most sports, the bounce the ball goes one way and 28 the other way. And the Warriors had the luck last year, and they had the luck this year, and they'll probably get the luck next year. Yeah, whereas I'm very much like Canterbury need to win a premiership this year because the defence is an issue. Maybe it's sustainable, but if you're relying on close wins, that's not a sustainable method of ensuring success year on year.
Mm. Yeah,
But I think Penrith are not involved in a lot of close games, would be my guess.
They've been involved with 3, and they're 2-1,
including the one on
and the
weekend.
The one they lost was the Warriors, and that's one of the Warriors'
Magic
wins.
weekend.
Yeah. Have a guess who's got the best record?
Percentage.
Percentage. Is it?
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
It will be. Yeah. And
Uh,
it's a team that's outside the 8. Which, as you say, Teddy, if this goes, the other way, then
Newcastle.
No,
is it the Gold Coast?
no. Gold Coast are 3 and 4. Newcastle are 4 and 2.
Maybe Canberra this year.
The Raiders 5 and 2.
Yeah, because they are rubbish. And their record is not nearly indicative as to where they are. They are rubbish.
As you say, if this had gone the other way, then perhaps all of our preseason predictions might have been closer to right.
Even still, I don't think we were getting near the West Tigers.
No, Tigers, funnily enough, 1-0 in close games.
It's a bit hard to be involved in 2 new close games when you can see 40 points a week.
Well, hey, just telling you what the stats say. Dragons 2-0, Bunnies 1-0 as well. I don't really know where we go from that, but I just wanted to dig into that, as I say, as a Warriors fan, to see what was happening.
It's a good indicator, and I always look at that heading into the finals as well, because often kind of win-loss records can mask a lot of issues. I think, and you really want to get to a couple of numbers I look to, which is I look for differential defensive numbers, close wins, all that stuff, to kind of get a real indicator of where a team's at and who's actually good and who's actually rubbish. And I think it's well worth looking at kind of heading into the finals, because it does tell you that, there are indicators to who's better than not. I think when you stack up Melbourne against Penrith, maybe as an indicator, Melbourne will win ahead. I don't think there's anyone who's watched an iota of rugby league this year that would say that Melbourne are a better team than Penrith.
Of the 100 and I don't know if I said it before, but there's been 172 games played this year. Do you want to have a guess how many have been decided by 4 points or less?
How many games did you say? Total?
172.
172.
45.
Yeah, I'd go about around 25%. 25%. What's that? Yeah.
Don't your prices right, mate.
Go on, net number.
38.
Teddy wins 43. All right.
Also, maybe just an aside, how many of those 172 games have you had a bet on this year, Carl?
Well, all of the ones involving the Warriors.
Yeah, at least 24 of them.
Yes, 172. Gamble responsibly.
That's the answer. Okay, just another quick one to Warriors fans. Give us half of those 6 that we've lost. 3 more wins. We're sitting inside the 8. So there you go.
And
tough.
Big shout out to Wars fans as well. Selling out every home game for a season. Big time.
Yep. We'll be there next week, Paul. But we can talk about that next week.
Dogs will be there next week too.
Do the grid.
Seems like a good opportunity to fly over the third member of the panel.
Live from.
Let's do the grid. If you're playing at home, pause the pod. Go and find the grid for Tuesday, 13th of August. Come back and compare your scores. No doubt you will lose because Teddy's very good at this game.
Well, I got smashed last week by both Blake and you, I think.
Yes,
last week. And I found this one very, very difficult.
Yeah, not overly happy with my score here. Along the top, played for 4 or more clubs, played for the Sharks and played for the Kiwis. Down the left, has played for the Roosters, has scored 500 plus career points, and played for the Titans.
I've made the podium today.
Teddy, your top line, please.
The 4+ clubs I struggled with the whole way through. But 4+ clubs, Roosters went to an old favourite here, Glenn Hall, 2.5 points. Shark and a Rooster, Brain, 1.94, Andrew Lomu. I'm led to believe the greatest Lomu to play any football code in the world.
Wow, don't do that.
And
Don't do that.
played for the New Zealand Kiwis and the Roosters. Unicorn, 0.72. Legend of New Zealand Rugby League, Richie Barnett.
How is he 0.72?
So
Because he's old, Paul. We've been through this.
So you just recapping for the punters, you will get smashed because I'm already way back, and Paul's already way back too.
Oh yeah,
you want to go, Paul?
Yeah. I had David Kidwell, 2.13. Josh Morris, 15.37. He's not my worst score, by the way. And a wizard, Jason Lowry, 0.87.
I've got Richard Fayoso, 2.08. Anthony Tupu, 7.84. And David Kidwell, 3.54. Middle row, Ted.
My worst answer in a while, but I really struggled to get someone here. 4+ clubs, 500+ points in career. Benji Marshall, 11.83.
Oh, that's bad for you.
Shocker, absolute shocker. Sharks, 500+ career points. A wizard, Luke Cavell, 2.41. And played for the Kiwis, 500+ points in a career. One of my all-time favourites, Darryl Halligan, the Chook, 1.31. Wizard.
Oh, why didn't I think of
that? James Maloney, 9.40. Preston Campbell, 4.68. Manu Vatuve, 7.52.
Oh, can you hear that? We've got the person back in our ear.
No, I can't hear that.
Oh, no.
I don't know if it's an area in your head because I don't hear that.
He's finally cracked.
And I'm just hoping that this is recording because I don't see any numbers on the screen.
No, there's a little red dot.
I see the red dot. I do see that.
Oh, there's no timer, yeah.
There's no timer though.
Oh, I have got a note on my iPad here. It says someone is recording this meeting.
Oh, okay.
Transcribing this meeting, so
Might not be us, but someone's recording.
It's the voice in his head recording.
All right, my middle row, I've got James Maloney, 9.40. Sharks scored 500 points. Wizard, Matt Rogers, 2.87.
Oh, I thought he would be the obvious one, so I went away. Far out.
And Kiwis, 500 points. Jordan Kahu, 4.29. Just quick shout out to Manu Vatuve being on there, scoring 500+ career
Not scoring
points
a goal.
and not kicking a single goal. Love that. Bottom row, Teddy.
regular answer, 4+ clubs, Titans, Daniel Mortimer, 2.79. Shocker here, Sharks and Titans. I was stunned at how little I could think of anyone. Luke Douglas, 10.80. And played for the Kiwis and the Titans, Jake Webster, Wizard, 1.58.
Oh,
Who?
Yeah. Who's Jake Webster?
Just never played for the Kiwis.
Fair. Okay, so
Nah, no idea.
I misread this one because I was rushing through it and I thought I had to have a player who played for both the Roosters and the Gold Coast, when in fact I had to have a player that played for the Gold Coast and 4 clubs. So because I thought it was Roosters and Gold Coast, I put my good friend Mark Minicello, and that was 100. Because I was
Must have been close to play for 4 clubs.
3 clubs, yep.
Did Mark Minicello play for the Roosters?
Yeah. Well, he was with his brother.
Still got it wrong.
Yeah, I got it wrong. 100. Then I went Luke Douglas, 10.80. And Clinton Torpy, 3.81.
Oh,
Mark Minicello played 1 game for the Roosters.
Oh, did he? Oh, he did too. Yes. because
I think you did a fair bit of assuming there, Paul.
and still got it wrong.
You got it right. You got the answer wrong, but your assumption was right.
I've got Nathan Friend 4.27. Teddy's mate Daniel Mortimer 6.52. Obviously put him in the wrong spot there. And Clinton Torpy 3.81. Totals, please, fellas.
You know what, I was thinking of Clinton Torpy, and I could not put my finger on who it was, and I kept coming back to Joseph Tamain. So it's like, I'm sure he didn't play for the Kiwis. So it's like, I should have had Clinton Torpy there. Number 35.9.
154.6.
44.6.
Gets
better. It gets better every time.
It's such a shame your busy, hectic lifestyle doesn't afford you enough time, Paul.
Fair dinkum. There's been a fair bit thrown on me desk the last week or so.
No children. You said we're throwing paper balls in garbage bins for your job.
Can't even do that right.
Your hectic lifestyle has really got the best of you again, Paul.
What's
for those that don't know, Teddy's referring to the 95 games that Paul and I played, and I ended up winning 6-1.
What was the one you got? Oh, the breakdancing.
I'm the New Zealand
of
Ray Gun. Yes,
I think I'm the Ray Gun of New Zealand.
Well, shout out to Ray Gun. Loved it.
All righty, let's do a real quick recap before we get into some previews. Starting with the Wars. They went down. Heartbreak yet again. For Warriors fans, I reckon I clocked 10,000 steps in the living room in the last 10 minutes of that match, doing circles, yelling at the TV. Teddy, as an outsider, someone who hasn't given much thought to the Warriors all year, as you say, what is your take on that game?
Didn't watch the game. Was driving home from the Bulldogs Dragons game the night before, so I maintained my position of not paying much heed. I did listen on the radio. Sounded like the Warriors were very, very lucky to get as close as they did, from what I could tell, because the Dolphins are going no good, and to concede 34 to them is a big worry. And once again, kicking and field goal kicking seems to prove costly again.
Goal kicking. Would have won us the game.
Yep. And who missed? Was it Chanel who missed the field goal at the end?
Yeah, he had a couple of cracks. Yeah.
Had a very kickable one though.
Yes.
In that last one that should have been nailed. He missed a sitter against Canterbury. I think a few. So rough time with the boot for him. I know that's not his number one. He's more a bit of a live wire who's more of a threat running, but you've got to nail those. You've really got to nail those, because we talked earlier about close games. Like, this has cost the Warriors time and time again. Like, it's bounce the ball. Goal kicking is a skill. Field goal kicking is a skill, and good players and good teams practice it and get it right, and bad teams don't.
Yep. You watched the game?
Defensively, that left-hand side was just a wee bit leaky, unfortunately. Who was it? Kossi and Leotawa. Of course, Leotawa copped a bit of friendly fire as well when he scored his try. For all the tries that Manu Vatuvei scored, one of his best attributes was his ability to know when to come in off his wing and nail the opposition centre. He did it so many times and shut down a number of the opposition when they were trying to their timing was slightly off, I think, on that left-hand side, and it left them exposed at times. But I just love watching Manu Vatuvei coming off his wing and absolutely cut the opposition centre in half, and sometimes turn the ball over. The centre would just lose it. So it's a matter of just getting that timing and on defence.
From a betting point of view, it's a good angle to try and find one anytime try score best when there is one kind of new half centre winger on the one side, you can kind of cover it. Not always, but you can kind of cover it. If you've got two players who aren't regulars there, it is a complete mess more often than not. Like, because it's not only like timing certain issue, but communication's a massive issue. And you've got two, like Baytail's a rookie because he wouldn't have played 20 NRL games. Who would they have had inside on the left-hand side would have been Chanel, who hasn't played a lot over the last couple of years. That's hard to overcome. And it's underrated. You're spot on, Paul. Like those wingers who can get that right more often. I think a good example in the NRL now is Sony Katoa. Doesn't rush in a lot, but when he does, rarely gets it wrong. And I think, that comes with timing, that comes with experience. But, it's very, very hard to overcome that and cost teams games time and time again. But there's nothing that frustrates me more than a winger charging in for no purpose at all and missing. Like, if you go in, you better stop it because you're completely cast otherwise.
Stop it, or at least take a card home.
Yeah, exactly right. Like you just kept running. Like there's no point in going back to your wing. You just kept running.
Run for it.
I will say with Leotel, I think it was Blake a couple of weeks ago saying, just come in as a centre defensively. That was the hardest part of it. And as I say, he hasn't played that many games. He'll get there, but his ability on attack, his try that he picked up, ball on his feet.
It was an inch above the ground.
Unbelievable. And then he had another try where he unfortunately dropped it clean over the line.
Oh,
but to get to that point, like his attacking ability is something special, or has the potential to be something special in years to come for the Warriors. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh, as Teddy says, the defense will come with experience, and it is very hard when you've got a number of inexperienced players playing together in the defensive line. You can get found out, and unfortunately for the Wars, they did get found out a number of times there. But yeah, both Kossi and Leotal, they'll get better the more they play together, and the more games that they just get under their belt. Full stop.
Yeah, we'll just go back to like we kind of piled in on Harris Tavita for not kicking those goals. He did kick 4 of 6, so it's not a bad day at the office.
What was Jermaine's?
I was a little surprised.
5 from 5.
6 from 6.
Yeah.
I think he kicked like 26, 27 in a row now.
Yeah.
I was a little bit surprised that Andrew Webster, I've said it a few times this year, I think he's pulled the wrong round a few times. Went with DWZ and Roger one side and the two rookies on the other side. I would have thought someone as versatile as RTS, he would have been getting him on that left-hand side.
Which is where he's played majority of the year on the left. Absolutely.
And I didn't understand, and I thought this when I was kind of reading team lists before I kind of set up home that. Why? It didn't make a lot of sense to me as to why you're exposing them so badly there. Because like you've left two guys on an island.
I have seen though when Roger's on that left, and he's in the act of scoring a try, he is holding the ball in the right. He doesn't tend to shift it to the left. So obviously he wants to play on that right side. Because there's been a couple of tries he scored where defenders have gone for the ball and they've had the easy look at it.
Yeah. Look, he's got to fix his skills, but experience counts for a lot. Down. I still don't think he should be playing centre. Like he should be playing on the wing if he's not going to play fullback. Wing is a much better spot for him.
I thought Chance was he was very good on the weekend.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I've said before, I've got no issue with Chance at fullback. That's where it's going to go. But I think wingers are far more valuable than centres these days. And I think Roger would be better served in more of that kick return wing role where you get a bit more license to run. Not a lot of license to move at centre.
Yeah. Is there any other games you guys want to look at before we get to a preview?
I want to touch on the Storm and Rabbitohs. I mentioned it before, the lack of professionalism shown out of the Storm, which is, if you had to ask me one thing that you can absolutely bank on in rugby league is the Storm playing professionally, with organisation, with discipline. As long as when they've had injuries or talent kind of deficits that they've struggled to win, most of the time they kind of help them get the job done. I've never seen a Storm team play so ill-disciplined as they did. They won 28-16. It's hard to be too critical of them, but they keep it up for the next 4 weeks. That is setting themselves up for a bang out in the finals. Yeah. I don't ever recall seeing a Storm play with the lack of discipline. No doubt I am completely bitter about them not covering the 13.5 when they should have won by 40. But just this making breaks and selfishly trying to give away double movement penalties and not just doing the basic thing right and going through the middle. They couldn't walk through South's middle. It was a really frustrating performance and very unstorm-like.
Any game you want to look at, Paul?
No, I don't.
No?
Okay. My mind is a blur after the Wires game.
Let's
and I noticed you weren't very active on our messages. You stayed away from the messages till late in the game.
What in the Warriors game?
Yeah,
I was watching the game.
Yeah, I know, but usually got a few sort of messages coming out. Nothing.
I thought it was just me, Paul. I thought it was just me he ignored during Warriors game, Paul. ignoring the brethren as well.
I honestly get so fired up and so angry, and just any little thing can just make me snap, and I just need to.
Look, I think it's a wonderful trait for a New Zealander to get that fired up for rugby league now. A wonderful, wonderful trait. We should be proud, Carl. Proud.
Here we are.
I don't know. When the kids come into the lounge and Dad's screaming at the TV, what's going on? Don't worry, yes.
Well, at least you're not exposing them to rugby union. That's all that we can ask for. It's a good parenting.
Wow, you getting appreciation from the Matt Kuchar of the Advantage line. I would not take that as a positive. In fact, we're probably going to have to come back tomorrow morning to finish this off because Teddy can't be bothered today.
No. We're going to finish this off very soon. We're going to get straight to previewing the round, and we will start with Panthers Storm, top of the table clash. Panthers are your favourites.
They certainly are. $1.60. Storm $2.35. The Panthers are 3.5 point favourites, and the game total is
43.5.
43.5.
Panthers have not covered their last 6 at home. Is that right? 5 of the last 6. What else have you got for us, Ted?
Well, being a class professional, and we just slammed the Storm, I've just accidentally closed my stats sheet as we're about to get to it. So I'm just reloading now and stalling for time.
I'm going to say that you are all over the Panthers here.
Yeah, all over the Panthers here. They've won 5 of the last 7. Penrith against the Storm. Covered those 5. The last 4 wins have been by 18 plus. When they win big. Melbourne won in round 1 this year, 8-0. But notable that Penrith were coming off a World Club challenge and, were probably well behind in their preparations to where the Storm would have been for that one. Some key numbers here for me. The Panthers off bad defensive performances. Always a good bet. 12-3 against the spread of conceding 20 or more. Since 2021, 3-0 against the spread of conceding 30 or more. As a home favourite of less than double digits, 10-3 against the spread. So they've covered 24 of their last 39 at Penrith Stadium. Not a lot against the Storm here, but notable teams on back-to-back interstate games cover just 44% in the Storm. Played better in daytime, covered just 7 of 19 at night. We talked about how leery they were last week. That will get absolutely punished. No Liam Martin, no Scott Sorensen. A slight concern for the Panthers, but expecting Dylan Edwards back. So pretty keen on Penrith here.
The other one, Melbourne has scored 10 points or less in each of its last 3 against the Panthers.
Yep,
if you want to get a little bit leery and total points bands.
That is real leery.
We might hear more about that later. Who do you like in this game, Paul?
Panthers. Love the Panthers here. I'm just checking out a few of the power plays that the boys have put up as well. Panthers to win to 0. $17.
Wee.
And they've also got a boosted market as well. Nathan to score a try and Panthers to win, boosted up to 450. So I'm keen to jump on a few Panther betting angles here.
Okay. Next one I want to look at is Friday night, 8 p.m. Seagulls versus the Wars. Seagulls $1.17, Warriors $5. Manly are listed as 15.5-point favourites. That is utterly disrespectful to the Warriors. They've covered the line in each of the last 6 as an underdog, and they've only lost, of the 12 matches they've lost this year, only 3 by 16 or more. Teddy, you've got a smirk on your face. I'm guessing you're going to say Manly's the bet here.
I don't have a bet on the side play, but I do have a stat that should make you scared as hell. They are 3-10 against the spread as an underdog of 14 or more. They are horrific as a big underdog. We're the worst team in the comp as a big underdog. So my first reaction was this line is way too big. Manly have only come 5-15 as a double-digit favourite, but they go pretty well at Brookie. So I can't jump into a side bet here. I'll probably have something small on the Warriors, but yeah, I just wanted to get that stat out there for you. Turn me off there. Manly have covered 5 straight. This one's all about. There's a great bet in this game. That is the over. Assuming it is absolutely bucketing down rain here in Orange today. You're doing the same in Sydney. We're going to dry because Brookvale's not a great wet weather track. But yeah, have it dry weather. Over is sensational. The last 15 times those teams have played, the over's hit 13 times. The over is 37-21 when Manly are scoring 20 plus, 10-5 when they're a double-digit favourite. The over is 15-3 when the Warriors are scoring 28 plus, 9-4 when they're a 14 plus dog because they're usually getting flogged. So the over is a very, very, very good bet. Yeah, caveat weather.
I had the over here too. We also might hear more about that later when we get to betting. I think 15.5 points is too much. Warriors will not lose by 16 points. What's your feel here, Paul?
Manly very, very good at Brookie. They've beaten the Panthers and the Storm at Brookie this season. They've only lost 2 games at home all season. Oh, I really don't like this. If I'm going to have a bet here, the only thing I'm looking for is the over because it does seem like a big, big line, but Manly can put points on in the
quickly. Quickly.
Yes. They can score in bunches. It's very, very scary.
Look what they did to the Raiders in the second half last week.
That was that was sick for the
yeah.
But
We've already
sick for a lot of it. Yeah.
Raiders are terrible. That's what we've decided.
They just
Unfortunately for us, we decided at the beginning of the year, and we're still betting them 24 weeks later.
Oh boy! Look at their last couple of games at Brookie. They've scored 38 and 44. I know it was only against the Knights and the Titans, but boy, oh boy.
I know the Warriors lost 66-0 or 66-6 to the Titans, but the Warriors are a much better team than the Titans are.
T-bus. It's a scary game. It's the overs for mine.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
You don't really want to say anymore, do you?
Do you reckon they'll have...
Are you happy to take the plus?
Me?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Positive. Do you reckon they'll have the Warriors game on at the darts for us this weekend?
Oh, we're off to the Arrows.
Oh.
Yeah, we're off to the darts.
What time is it? No.
8 o'clock.
Oh.
We're going to have to see if we can get a little second screen action going. I'm next to the dartboard.
Whoever's got the biggest phone is going to have to put it on the table.
I want to get on the screen, on the big screen. Punters will be asking for it. I don't care about your 9 data, mate. Show me the wires.
Well, hold on a minute. Hopai Puham might just be very, very happy with a 9 data.
Almost cost me a nice multi on day one of the Aussie dart.
What, did you have Rob Cross, did you?
I had Rob Cross as the last lead, about $1.06.
When he was up 4-0, were you like, oh, well, this one's home?
I turned the channel. I couldn't believe I hadn't been paid out. So.
Hopai had a match dart.
I'm well aware because I was watching by that stage.
He was millimeters away from a 138 checkout to win the match.
He was very good.
Jeez, that was a great matchup. Anyway,
tune into our darts podcast.
Well, we should have one just quietly.
Any other games you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, was that a question or?
No, I'm just wondering which one. There's a few I like.
What about the dog? What about your dogs?
Give us. I tell you what, Teddy. Give us your three games that you're most keen to have a punt on and why.
Three I'm most keen to have a punt on. All right, most keen to have a punt on North Queensland Canberra. Despite rubbishing Canberra the entire way through, I'm declaring them my best of the week. They are 9-0 against the spread of conceding 40 plus. Covered 5 of the last 6 in the state. The Cowboys are absolute cats. Covered just 2 of the last 12 at home. They are a disgraceful team. Todd Payton will not be in his job at the end of the year. Is my prediction. So that's number one. Number 2, Tigers South. Tigers won just 1 of their last 11 at Campbelltown. They've conceded 40 plus in 5 of their last 7 games. I've seen a little bit out South the last couple of weeks. That makes me think that they might be switched on in terms of. I thought they dug in deep against Canberra, against Melbourne last week, and I'll be happy to lay the minus there. And close to my best, it'll be in the mix. I absolutely love the Titans this week. Very, very keen against the Dragons. Dragons go very well at Wollongong, but teams off a 40-plus loss cover at 65% the next week. And the Titans, they've covered 10 of their last 11, getting a start of 4 or more. So there are 3 for you. Oh. And Paul asked me about the Dogs. Not confident this week. Not confident. Dogs.
Have you been to the ground?
To Bundaberg?
Yeah.
No, I've not been to Bundaberg. I could not think of a place I'd less like to go or a place that's further away. So it will take you about 3 days to drive there, Paul. That's how far away it is. So not being close to it. This is not. I'm a bit disappointed that the Dogs are taking this game to Bundaberg because this time of year is when you should be staying at home and getting your rest. And the Dogs, as good as they've been playing, they've been up for a long time and they are starting to look a little bit tired. And I would expect they will drop one of these next 2 games, or the Dolphins this week or the Warriors next week. I just think that they've got a loss coming to a team that they shouldn't lose to, but they're just looking a bit tired right now. So, and Dogs, 6.5-point favourites, 0-6 against the spread the last 4 years when favoured by 6.5 or more. So, big number. And Dolphins, probably a bit more desperate than the Dogs. So, and in Queensland, less travel. So, I'd rather be on the plus than the minus, that's for sure. But don't like those betting game at all. Which means I'll only have about 58 bets.
Responsibly.
Gamble responsibly.
All right. Speaking of betting, let's get to it. We've got $100 each a week to spend on whatever we like. Let's see if Blake or Surly. No.
For neither. What?
No.
That's unlike Blake. That's unlike Blake.
Yeah, we need a little welfare check on Blake. Make sure he's okay.
I'll be sending a big welfare check on Blake.
Anyway, just us then. Do you want to start, Teddy?
I'm just filling out the number here, but the bet will be Penrith head-to-head. This is a straight-up multi here. Penrith head-to-head. Canberra plus 6.5. Gold Coast plus 4.5. The number we've got for that is $5.76. I'll have 100 on that.
Wow.
Confident this week. Very, very confident this week.
Very, very confident this week, you said.
on those ones.
Do you want to go? Do you want me to go?
You go.
All right. You're not going to like this, Ted, but I've got Panthers head-to-head and Titans plus. I put 50 on that at $3.04.
Yeah, correct. Talk about protecting his lead.
No. The
We'll
other
go to the
one.
video and watch him furiously typing as I give my bets out.
Oh, jeez.
The other one. So 50 on that, and then I'm going to have 50 on the Warriors plus 15.5 into the overs at $4.50. That's a little double market there. Paul?
Okay. So, first of all, I'm going to take the try-scoring bingo, 1 to 7,
Tick.
for the Friday night games this time. So the 2 Friday night games. So that's the Sea Eagles and the Wars, and it's the Roosters and the Eels. I'm hoping. What day is it? Wednesday. So we're doing this on a Wednesday. Hopefully, the weather plays its part, and if it does, I'm very, very keen on that 1 to 7. It's paying $4.50 at the moment.
You won't get many Eels in there, Paul. On the thought. Trent Barrett 49-52 the last 4 years as head coach.
And there he is.
Boom. I get the feeling there might be a few tricklers who cross the white line this Friday night. But anyway, so yeah, 1 to 7 on the 2 Friday night games, and that's paying $4.50, $50 on there. And I'm going to go a wee bit leery. I'm going to go Panthers to win by 13 and over. And I've just got to get rid of that one. I'm taking into over 61 or more points in the Wars Manly game. So Panthers to win by 13 and over into the 61 or more points in the Wars Manly game. 50 on that one.
Very nice. Just quickly going back to the Warriors this week. Luke Metcalf named in the extended squad. Do we see him coming straight in for Chanel Harris-Tavita? Because I thought that would have happened last week.
Oh, well, all I know is it's going to cause Paul great fury for Friday night try to score a bingo. If that does that.
Because you don't want to be relying on Luke Brooks to be scoring a try.
No, you don't. But against the Warriors, it is possible. Yeah, I would like to say I think they play better football with him there. Than Metcalf in the team. I just think they're a lot less predictable with him in the team.
With Metcalf?
Yeah.
He's a good foil for SJ at the right now.
Yeah.
And seems like we've got all our goal kickers back too. SJ's back, Adam Pompey's back. Even Tane Tuapiki is on the extended bench too. No excuses.
Overs.
There's no happier human on the face of the earth than Chanel Harris-Tavita. They're all available.
All right. Any promos this week?
Promos. We have NRL. A 3 or more league same game multi bonus cashback up to $50 Thursday to Sunday, 1 per game. Oh wow, yeah, nice. 1 league fails. Obviously, check out all the T's and C's and the Overball Mega Multi. Once again, that's up to $50 bonus cash. Head to the punters. The promotions page now at tab.co.nz.
Yeah. Beautiful. Teddy, thank you very much for your time today.
Oh, absolute pleasure as always. Looking forward to getting back into it next week. Another reaching that time of the year where there's excitement for the finals, but a bit of sadness that we've only got 4 weeks left of the season.
Yeah. Paul, as always, job well done. Not as always, but good stuff.
As they say in The Simpsons, job done.
No, I'm kidding, mate. To the punters, thank you very much for listening. We'll be back to do it all again next week. Cheers.